Judith Vollmer. Judith Vollmer is our next poet. Students often come to me after reading Judith Vollmer or seeing her perform and let me know about what they loved, what they heard, what they saw. In fact, often enough that it's a trend I notice. Other poets, but a lot of poets say, hey, so. One former student of mine was so taken with her use, in fact, of benzene dripping from Pittsburgh bridges that he used benzene in 4 different poems afterwards. By the 3rd and 4th time was, where's the benzene line, Paul? So, is he here? No, he's not. But yeah, 4 poems, benzene. And that's tough to work in. When Judith read here 2 falls ago as part of a larger series, another of my students heard her read The Coffee Line, the poem she'll read tonight, and wrote me an email, unprompted, after class in which she rhapsodized for paragraphs about the image of the burner, as you will hear it rendered in a few moments. Judith Vollmer is the director of the writing program at the University of Pittsburgh-Greensburg. Her awards include the Brittingham Prize for her first book, Level Green, the Cleveland State University Poetry Center Prize for her second book, The Door Open to the Fire, the one with the benzene, as well as an NEA Fellowship and the Chancellor's Distinguished Teaching Award of the University of Pittsburgh. She is also co-editor of 5 AM, an independent magazine of contemporary poetry, and her latest book, Reactor, came out last year. Please welcome Judith Vollmer.
Spill. Before I spoke of clear things, shadows on white tile, men in paper suits, mopping the radiated water with Kotex pads, trucked in through the security dock, 1960. Now I see blurry grasses swaying in dusk, the starless sky and vaporous shapes of a Pennsylvania town behind wire fences, there in the misty place beyond the woods. I hear a truck sputtering with cheap gas, and boot soles slapping cement. Is that my Uncle Ray running toward the truck, away? No, he's inside with his men cleaning the burning place, protecting the core. Dawn is a swollen eye they work toward. Those must be cattails waving over the marshland. Those must be geese making that slapping leather sound of flight. This next one is about the waste fills or dumps off the Atlantic shoreline and about the dream that they might be transformed somehow or not. Spoil islands. With the wild birds, I slipped into gliding, a tiny ceiling of feathers. I crossed and fell to the dunes. My fingers brushed the cattails, velvet columns marking the temples of the shallows. How I twisted in the strands of plastic and grease. And among the young sea oats splaying their gold straw, I grazed the 1,000 white mallow flowers that fade, white lies. So quickly, no eye records their delicate paper skin, silk, after the waxy flesh is gone. I thirsted for rainwater in the green plates of sea grapes. I loved the blossoms waving their shreds of batiste in the southerlies, holding up little flags even as they bloomed, died, bloomed. My shadow on the tips of new leaves was released. It stood at the lip of the sound. My eyes slid under the cleft of a hillock. Eyes cooled the sun-hot wires of a bridge span. How I trembled over the flowers again, but wanted to lie down on the original sponge and bed. Gone, stitched now with ground glass and benzene, blue myrtle and wet grass. Great translucence, however long 10,000 years is. Great silt, great ourselves, little depots of grit and shifting light. I'll read a few poems of the season. Persephone returning. You come, pressing in through the fresh washed screens. This mild evening when I haven't lit the new candles yet. But come in. I can feel your atmosphere, dense, wet, a field lake let loose. A moment ago I noticed something on the dark slate under the vestibule light. It looks like sweat, almost a wet moon glow, pressed there, a woman's cheek, fresh with night. I think you made a simple turn in the meadow last November. Could have been any joyous, reckless one of us. I am still asking, is there a world before self-consciousness binds us up? I'm still trying to be, say it, the person making. Once I liked writing as if I were playing the piano. Then at one point I did not want to translate the notes, so they went directly into my hands. When I can't hear myself think, I watch for your comings and goings. I bring the outside in, moon for light, white birch bark for sleeves. Listening to birds after a mild winter. Though we complain, we just had one, didn't we? It was pretty mild until about 4 weeks ago. Listening to birds after a mild winter. I don't even know where they were or if they went far, where they slept, but I think they must be wildly happy, squinting in the brightness, even though all winter my neighbors stuffed their tall, fat feeders with blobs of suet big enough for wild dogs. I don't think they dream in color or even see it. Don't they follow shadows and charcoal slashes? Don't they ride wind gliders over bushes? Here's some moldy straw. Here's human hair on an open windowsill. Plus, worms are coming up to aerate a little. Who knows, a couple thousand night crawlers might arrive in a gardener's truck or slide off a boat down by the river, off hooks, half-eaten, or maybe regenerating after fishes chomp them half off. They might end up here, only to be snatched up by the lousy crows barreling up from the park like intuition. Jays and cardinals are coming out of their REM sleep, too. The crow on the storm drain screaming, get to work. The whole sky's barking, just because they didn't freeze on icy twigs or get knocked over by blizzards and drifts. They're excited. This is a poem of first experience, because we keep having them. Port of entry. The world breathes its fabulous display. You can have this and this. Look, Mama, a fishtail, a child cries at the icy seafood window. And in the blip before hearing her mother's yes, she's gone. Time is silk, burning, eyes out of nowhere, open petals, pages. She's through. She's peeking onto the tip of the flat, wavy universe. A world rushes forward and up through her feet, palms, and fingertips. Ecstasy, move us, each first time. And this is the poster poem. The next time you're in Pittsburgh, if you visit the Scaife Gallery, you can see this painting that inspired this poem, painted by John Sloan, born in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. And they moved the painting. When I first would visit this painting, it was in a kind of dim gallery, in a kind of side gallery, and they've moved it into a really bright, skylit room, so it doesn't have quite the same dreamy effect, but it's beautiful nonetheless. This is, pre-Starbucks era, obviously, when you could go into the street on your way to work and get the coffee. The cart was a house we approached at dawn. The man tended the chrome pots bent over in his canvas apron. The steam, a circuit above the boiling water, and the smell could knock you out at 6 in the morning. Our paper bags softened in the mist, and our lunches, sealed in wax paper, held meats and fruit, second sweetness of the day. But this would be the first. The dark poured into our thermoses, the dark warmed our faces in the first light. The smell, holy smell of the whole oiled and turning world smoked into our nostrils, down onto our tongues. Eyes in our heads watered, ears opened to the sound of pouring from the chrome spout. The falling dark waterfall into the cup, one cup just now before work, sipping the dark. 2 sugars, 3. Help yourself to a 4th, it's payday. The milk warmed if possible. Is that possible? The man bends toward us, hands up the cup, and keeps pouring. Elixir and frugality, cost and profit. Every morning, the red ring of the single burner on the white stove in the cart can be seen from far away in the black, wet streets we walk. Minds dipped in sky tar, buffed to something ebony and bony and vase-like. We walk toward the wedding ring of night and morning fused. Saturn, ring of the brain's tiny volcanoes, awakening. Thank you very much.